Excessive fluid loss leads to ingredient decay. Premium seafood and Wagyu beef are frozen using scientific methods, keeping microbes controlled within a stable, safe range.
Let me introduce Chef Chan, who has been in the industry for 30 years and previously served as a chef at a 5-star hotel. People care more about food safety now. When it comes to frozen meat, many wonder if fresh meat is truly always better than the frozen alternative.
In our daily lives and work, I find frozen meat safer than fresh, because fresh meat is not immediately flash frozen after the slaughter process. Frozen meat is processed in certified plants, moved to -18 degrees quickly, which effectively halts the growth of surface bacteria and microbes. So, I believe frozen meat is safer. Does it affect the texture regarding taste? Fresh meat is sold immediately after being slaughtered without any acid leaching process, leading to a sour and tough texture after cooking. However, frozen meat undergoes cold chain processing, where tiny ice crystals form and gently pierce the muscle cells during the freezing phase, making it easier to absorb flavors. Also, many premium seafoods and Wagyu cuts are frozen and shipped to stores before being prepared for service. And in our actual consumption, they still retain a very high degree of their original flavor and quality. The industry often discusses the thaw to fresh process. Simply put, it involves taking a frozen item and putting it through a controlled thawing phase, resulting in a fully thawed ingredient. A few methods are quite scientific. I recommend using a thawing cabinet for the most reliable results. Because a thawing cabinet uses a gradient temperature process, it safely controls surface bacteria and microbial growth very effectively. Large factories use radio frequency thawing, but it is not suitable for store use. True, another method used by some shops is that if they need to thaw items quickly, they soak sealed bags in running water. How can we judge if the ingredient is still fresh after thawing? Use sight, touch, smell, and a scientific pH test. First is sight. Does it look dry, moldy, or have discoloration, such as losing its bright red hue? Second is touch. We press the meat to see if it springs back normally and feels firm enough to eat. If it fails to bounce back quickly, the meat has been thawed for too long. Third is its scent. Stale meat after cooking has an unpleasant, sharp odor that makes it unappealing to eat.
Often results in an unpleasant texture. Many small restaurants prefer soaking meat in hot water or using running water because they think it is faster.
But the industry strongly discourages this practice because it causes many issues. Rinsing raw meat actually damages its structural integrity and texture quite significantly. For meat quality and safety, there is a 0 to 60 degree danger zone. Keeping it at this temperature for too long harms the quality and food safety. Controlling bacterial growth involves many unfavorable factors. Improper running water thawing also leads to significant loss of raw materials, such as surface whitening, souring, or slimminess, forcing you to trim those parts, causing store waste. Material waste is significant. If thawing is incomplete, the surface looks ready, but because the item is large, the core remains frozen with a very low temperature, which results in uneven temperatures between the inside and outside. If we use a standard refrigerator for thawing, the process takes a very long time, sometimes 10 to 20 hours, which is bad for controlling surface bacteria. Can regular fridges replace specialized thawing gear? How big is the difference? In some commercial settings, we use fridges to thaw because we cannot afford large-scale thawing equipment, which makes the whole process quite slow. But I recommend using a professional thawing cabinet. What is the difference? Because refrigerated thawing cannot ensure constant humidity, nor can it maintain the controlled environment that a thawing cabinet provides. If store costs are a concern, high thawing loss over a month of operations will have a major impact on costs. My parents always thought that frozen meat stays good in the fridge forever. True, but is that really the case? Not at all. Frozen food does have a limited shelf life. After 1 or 2 years, meat can still develop mold and lose its quality, so it is never truly everlasting. The easiest way to tell is if the meat turns green, which is mold growing in a frozen environment. Share this video with your parents. Hahaha.
Many meats show no strange odors after thawing. But once cooked, you taste a sour or bitter flavor.
Wondering why it tastes bad? This is caused by microorganisms such as listeria or lactic acid bacteria affecting the meat. Fat oxidation within the meat also directly affects the overall taste. When it comes to your daily life, which thawing method do you personally prefer to use to keep the food fresh?
How can we achieve both speed and quality since we are more focused on commercial operations?
We use small thawing cabinets for this purpose. This helps control microorganisms plus temperature and air humidity, giving us better control, unlike refrigerated thawing where many factors are uncontrollable. At the end, would you like to give advice to shop owners or restaurant managers?
My advice is to use proper thawing methods.
Since we are not experts and cannot control the surrounding temperatures, using a thawing cabinet is very appropriate and budget-friendly.
Many thanks to Chef Chen for sharing these insights with us, and I truly hope this video gives everyone a much better new understanding of proper thawing and food freshness.